I contacted Sheriff McClure, and in your package you will find that there's a letter from the City of Lakeview, and you will also find that there's a proposal from the City of Lakeview, and you will also find that there's a proposal from Sheriff McClure. And the reason that I asked Sheriff McClure to draw up us a proposal was the article that I read in the Lakeview Resort. I thus contacted Scott Peterson, and he sent me this letter from Mayor Westergaard. I felt that since the council likes more than one bid, I contacted Sheriff McClure, and he said he would be willing to draw us up something, and he has drawn up something. And I brought him here tonight because if there's any questions, concerns, him and Dean Stock are here to try and best answer any and all questions that you might have for them. If you'll notice that the Sac County proposal is a little cheaper. Did you ever find out, Sheriff, where the city shader lays?
I'm not. They have a meeting tonight.
They have a meeting tonight. They haven't decided which way to go. Dean, do you know which way they plan on leaning or not?
But they're talking to one of their council members. They're I don't know if they're all leaning towards the traditional, having their own police.
City of law enforcement.
That that part of the county they feel they're comfortable with that, but they've had high turnover too. So I don't know.
Sheriff, you want to go over your proposal and
Sure.
And give them a little brief highlight? That way, if they've got any questions or concerns.
Yep. I'll go over a couple things here.
Appreciate you coming. Thank you.
You're welcome. Gentlemen, in order for us to provide a service, we need to put on some additional staffing levels. Where we're currently got about all we can take. I have a verbal commitment from the Board of Supervisors should you decide to contract with us to put another person into place. The front page there pretty much just talks about the breakdowns of the benefits that the county offers and what we pay a starting deputy and FICA and IPERS and so forth. There are two proposals there. The first proposal would be for 40 hours a week. In the event that you were to choose a 40-hour-a-week contract, we would assign a deputy sheriff to live in Wall Lake based off that contract. $75,000 a year, that's 40 hours a week. The Board of Supervisors has also given me their verbal agreement that in addition to hiring an additional deputy, they would also supply the vehicle and the equipment for that. You're looking at probably another $45,000 on top of that by the time you got a car, light bar, radios, cage, everything like that. What that breaks down to is $36.06 an hour. If you contract with us by looking at Lakeview's contract proposal, it looks like they're wanting a 3-year contract with a 10.5% increase in the next 3 years, which puts you paying somewhere around $48,000 or $49,000 a year for 20 hours a week. The $75,000 that is in proposal 1 is exactly the same thing we give the city of Odebolt. That's what they get. They get $75,000 a year for 40 hours a week, and we have a deputy assigned to live there. In the event that the assigned deputy is off, then obviously we come in and we pick up whatever calls. We're also guaranteeing you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week coverage. So we have never, in the 7 years I've been sheriff, the 6 years we've been doing contract law enforcement, build a community we contract with for hours, for over hours. As an example, we have a community that this year, they got about 80 or 85 hours above and beyond what they contracted for. We didn't bill them for any additional. That pretty much covers the first proposal. Proposal number 2 is, I don't know where Shaler Stan, the police chief that they'd had on for a month, has resigned. He went to be a deputy in Buena Vista County, as did their former police chief. I've spoken to one of their council members who's in favor of it, and spoken to one who's not in favor of it. If the city of Shaler would decide that they were interested in doing a contract proposal with us, we can knock that down to 20 hours a week for Wall Lake, and that's what you're getting now. Give the other 20 hours a week to the city of Shaler, and that would still give us the ability to put somebody else on. I think that would be $37.5 a year. The other thing that you get with us is, you're paying for 8 people instead of 4. That's where your money's going. We have the resources, we have the people, we have the technology, we have the training and experience to come in and do you a great job. We have a full-time detective. That's all he does is criminal investigations and follow-ups. Every month, I present to the council that we contract with a monthly report. And what this monthly report shows is the date, the time, the location, the incident, and what deputy responded to it. It also shows in there security checks, welfare checks. When we're in communities that we contract, we call them patrol times, and then the comm center documents that. So if I were to leave here tonight, I would say 1 hour patrol time for Wall Lake. Well, then that gets counted on there. So you can actually look at the end of the month report and say, oh, well, we had a deputy in early at 12:41 in the morning and he was there for 20 minutes, or, he was there for 2 hours. So you can kind of keep track when we're in and when we're out. There really is kind of no set pattern at this point.
I don't want to interrupt right now, but I'm not getting that from like you right now. I'm not getting any reports. You guys aren't getting any reports. I'm not even getting a, police report from any incidents from here in the city of Wall Lake, which Sheriff McClure is offering to provide.
I want to ask you if that report that you're reading off of was for a city that contracted with you, or is that just your normal?
No,
Would you just normally patrol a town as a county?
We do. We try to get to all the towns in the county, but this report just happens to be last month's report for the city of Early.
They contract with you?
They do.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And the city of Early, we had 160 case numbers assigned to the city of Early just last month. So a lot of that's patrol times, when we're in and out and everything else. We're just like your police department, You contract me as your police chief, and the deputies come and take care of the stuff, So we do their city code enforcements, we do their snow ordinance things, we serve their municipal infractions, whatever you want. Again, we work for you.
Any fees, does that go back to the sheriff's department, does that go to the city, or if there are any fines or anything?
Depends on how that's worded. We have county ordinances that, on traffic violations, we write all of our traffic violations on county ordinances. That money then goes back to the county. We write, in Early, we're writing snow parking tickets for snow ordinance. It's an $18 ticket, it's under their city ordinance. That money, I'm sure, will get shipped back to them.
So if there's a speeding ticket within the city limits of Wall Lake, and you would write it, the county would write it, that goes to the county.
We would write that under a county ordinance. And here's why, Mayor. If we write it on the city ordinance, if they find it, you have to pay your city attorney to come and defend it.
Okay.
Where right now with the county ordinance, the county attorney defends it, so there's no additional cost to the city.
That's what I wanted you to clarify.
And that's, that's where all our other contract communities, that's the way they want it, because they don't want to have to pay their city attorneys any extra money when they're already paying them. So, again, that covers everything, that there's no additional liability or expense to the city above and beyond the contract hourly rate. The Sac County indemnifies the city of Wall Lake for any damages or lawsuits or anything like that. And then there's no other civil liability from the city and the sheriff's office other than law enforcement protection. So, it's not an easy thing for cities to make a decision on. It's kind of like giving up a school or something, just giving up a party. But the towns that we work with, I believe, are very happy with the service we provide them. And, I'm not going to sit here and stand here and toot the horn of the sheriff's office. Talk to them. Yep, there's some complaints every now and again, but we're working on.
So you contract Lytton?
We currently contract Lytton, Auburn, Early, Odebolt, and Nemaha.
5 of the 9.
5 of the 9
cities.
Yeah.
One question, and I don't know if they'll ask it or not, is they're gonna ask about response time.
You know, we'll get here as soon as we can. I mean, if we put on the additional staffing, that puts us 3 cars out on a night shift. And let me back up just a little bit. Tonight is the first night we were full staff since December last year. And in the last 13 months, we've never had a city complain that we didn't get there in a timely fashion. You know, we have deputies spread out throughout the county. I have one that lives in Auburn, I have one that lives in Odebolt, I have one that lives in Shaler, there's a couple of us around Sac, and I have 2 living in Early. So we have resources to draw from in the event that there's a problem. The other issue is we work relatively well with Lakeview, and the chief had told me he was going to go to his council and said that, you know, this may be a possibility. And he's assured me that in the event we're busy, they'll send somebody over to help. So, you know.
So we still would have good response time no matter what.
Well, we'll give you the very best we can. Now, I can't guarantee you that, you know, we're going to be here within 5 minutes.
No, I know. You can't.
But, you know, I mean, it's,
Under proposal 1, you'd have a deputy living in the city?
yes.
And it's his responsibility for the house or whatever? It's not the city's responsibility to furnish him a...
Oh, no, not at all.
That's, I want to
Yeah,
clarify
no.
that.
No, not at all.
No.
If that's the case, I'm moving down. Can I pick the house I want?
Oh, no, we have to do that. There's a nice one up by the Catholic Church that we lives in.
Yeah. But again, gentlemen, you know, I know it's a difficult decision, and I know that one of the concerns is that Lakeview's 4 or 5 miles from here. They're out till 5 o'clock in the morning. I understand that. And I also understand that we can be clear up in Timbuktu if you need us down here. You know, that's just the nature of our job, and it's getting like this all over rural Iowa. I mean, it's getting tough to provide it.
And in some cases, you need backup right away too.
Well, and there's nothing to choose from.
Yeah.
The Board of Supervisors has last Tuesday? No, Friday had a budget hearing. I proposed that by July now, we'll have in-car computers in all of our cars. We'll have GPS positioning on our cars. Our comm center then, and this is a statewide program. It's called MOC. Iowa State Patrol currently has it, DOT enforcement has it, Uvalde County Sheriff's Office has it, Ida County's getting it. I can set either on my patrol car, or our dispatcher can set in our comm center and see where every car's GPS is located at every 15 seconds. So in the event that we need some help, we can look at this and say, hey, you know, 294's in Shaver, you know, or currently.
Sheriff, that also includes highway patrol, correct?
It does. It does. Now, and I want to talk a little bit about the highway patrol. Trooper Hesnard went to the State Fire Marshal's office in October. They have not filled that slot. I don't know that they're going to fill that slot. Currently, we have 1 trooper other than Jim Whistler, who's a supervisor. We have 1 road trooper from Lytton to Correctionville. That's it. Last March, the office in Cherokee closed. The north part of the district, BB, Cherokee, Plymouth, went out of the Spencer office. Sac, Ida, Woodbury went out of the Denison office. So, you know, the governor's talking about downsizing, maybe laying out 49 troopers in July. So, you know, we really can't rely on the Iowa State Patrol to be here to give us a big hand, but law enforcement deaths are up 38% this last year. Why do you suppose that is? Nobody out there to help us, we're out there by ourselves, so.